Wake up, nigga. Wake up.
According to the Christian church, one day Christ is going to come back and he's going to crack the atmosphere and he's going to gather and beamed up, and then there's going to be a massive amount of people that are left behind, because the ones that are left behind are the ones that didn't believe. And then the ones that are left behind, that's when the Antichrist is going to come on the scene. And the ones that are left behind, they're going to go through a 7-year tribulation period where they have 7 years of all trouble and turmoil. But when the believers got beamed up, that day is going to be a chaotic day, because there's going to be planes falling down on earth because the pilot got beamed up. There's going to be cars crashing all over the place. It's going to be chaotic because all these people are getting beamed up everywhere. And nobody's going to know what's going on. They're going to be confused. Then during the 7-year tribulation period, when the Antichrist is on the scene, you're going to have 7 years to either believe or you're going to have to accept the mark of the beast. Those that believe, they're going to have to be beheaded because they didn't believe in time. They believed after the rapture. So now to show their allegiance with Christ, they're going to have to get beheaded. And the ones that receive the mark of the beast, they're going to be able to buy, sell, and continue on with life. But then after the end of the 7-year tribulation, Christ is going to come back, destroy the Antichrist, and then he's going to beam up everybody else. So he's going to make a third coming according to the Christian doctrine. Then after that, everyone's going to live happily ever after, floating in the sky in heaven. The end type deal. Folks, that is a lie. That is a lie. That is not in the Bible. The way that story goes, that's not in the Bible. This is what happens when you let Gentiles teach the word of God. That is not in the Bible. That is a man-made doctrine. That's the Christian religion version of that doctrine, and they call it the rapture. Now what we're going to do is get ready to go inside of the Bible and see what God says about this rapture and about being left behind. And we're going to find out who's lying, because somebody's lying. You're going to be the judge. I'm Brother Yarashalam. This is the Bible Unlocked, the Rapture Deception. Matthew 24, verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? The disciples came to Christ asking him, when is going to be the sign of thy coming? And what's going to be the end of the world? When it says the end of the world, it's talking about the end of the age or the end of that rulership, referring to the Roman Empire. This is a question that they wanted to know so they can be prepared for when he's making his next return. And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. This is the first thing he told the disciples, is that you need to take heed that nobody comes to deceive you. There's going to be people using my name as a cover-up to push doctrine on you concerning the coming of me. He's telling you that the Christian church is going to be the #1 deceptive tool used by Satan to deceive people. He says, many shall come in my name, referring to people who are going to be using the Bible to push a false doctrine on people. So you need to take that into consideration as we go into this lesson. Keep that in mind. That's what Christ is saying. He didn't say it was going to be Muslims or atheists. It's going to be people using the Bible to deceive people. And it says, this shall deceive many. This ain't talking about a few Israelites returning in the last days with the correct doctrine. This is talking about somebody who has a large scale of viewers to deceive, a large platform to deceive many people. It's referring to Christianity. See, Christianity is still waiting for this person to come, to these people to come to deceive many. You're going to be waiting for a long time because you don't realize that it's talking about you. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Christ says nobody knows when he's going to return. He don't know himself. The angels don't know. Only the Father in heaven knows the exact day and time that he's going to send forth the Son. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Keep this in mind.
So
He's giving an analogy right now. He says the same way it happened during the time of Noah is the same exact way it's going to happen when he returns. Watch. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage. They were doing everything that they do on a normal day basis. Living life as if life was going to continue forever, when Noah was out there telling people to get prepared, that the flood is going to get ready to come. Everybody just, they shunned them, and they continue living life, marrying, drinking, getting drunk, partying. You know, the same thing that we see going on today.
Because another thing people are going to have to realize, you're going to have to start taking all the books and putting the books together and using those books as a guidebook. You know, it was just, matter of fact, I got something for you.
Find the prophets. Learn to read the instructions.
Prophets? What prophets? What instructions?
The last time God lost faith in man, he sent a flood. This time he sent what you see outside.
Are you saying this is the apocalypse?
I'm saying this is an extermination. Those things outside are just vessels. They're possessed. The weakest willed are the easiest to turn.
Possessed by what? Demons?
No. No. By angels.
Wait, hold on, son. I don't know what book you've been reading, but in my version, the angels are good guys.
Well, the truth, I'm afraid, is never that simple.
Bullshit. Now, I'm not a pastor, but I've never heard of no ice cream man or old lady eating raw meat jumping on the ceiling with baby teeth, so I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Hold on. How do you know so much about it?
It was until last night I was on their side.
So you're saying...
Yeah, that's right. Yesterday I was fucking Santa Claus. You know, this is crazy, right? I mean, I don't even believe in God.
Well, that's just fine, Bob. He doesn't believe in me either. He doesn't believe in any of this anymore. I knew this day was coming. I just didn't think I'd be around to see it.
Oh, come on, Percy. What are we even talking about this for? Angels and possessed people. It's not real.
Have you looked outside, Bob? I mean, those people aren't exactly our regular customers.
And knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Until Noah came into the ark, everybody was eating and drinking. This is very important. This is context, people. Remember this word took. It's going to be very important as we continue going down in the chapter. Took them away, meaning all the people that got taken away, they got killed. They got drowned in the flood. The Most High killed them all. Noah is the one. And his family were the ones that got left behind. Everyone else got taken away. Watch. Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken and the other left. It's going to be two people in the field, one shall be taken. Remember, as the days of Noah were, is the same exact way the Son of Man return is going to be. Two in the field, the one was taken. What does that mean? The one was killed. One was left behind, one was killed. That's what this is saying. It's not saying that he got beamed up into the sky. It's saying the same exact way as the days of Noah were. He got killed, the one who was taken. Two women shall be grinding at the mill. The one shall be taken and the other left. And it's two women grinding at the mill. One was taken, as in the days of Noah were, meaning she got killed, and the other one was left behind. You see how you've been deceived? into thinking that it's a good thing to be taken, taken means you got killed. You don't want to be taken. There's no rapture going on before the destruction comes.
Right.
The one who got taken is the one who got killed. He's the one who got caught in the judgment of God. Remember, they were marrying, drinking in the days of Noah, and it's going to be the same exact way. They got caught, so that means they got.
Stop! Drop the bag. Put your hands on your head.
It started. There isn't much time.
Shut the fuck up and drop the bags now! Hands on your head. On your head! Turn around! Turn the fuck around! Let him go! Take this out, Bert. Let him the fuck...
What are you doing, Michael? Police want your orders.
What are you saying?
No, I'm following my own orders now.
Then you will die along with the child.
Burton, you fucking know this guy? What the hell are you doing?
You have to understand that this is how crazy religion is. This is how hypnotizing religion can be. If this verse were in another history book and it was written in this context, people would be able to understand this thing clearly. Clearly, they would be understand, okay, taken means that they got killed. That's a negative thing. But when it comes, just because it's in the Bible, people's mind cannot perceive it.
They can't.
Because you've been pushed a rapture doctrine on you for so long, you can't understand something as simple as this. One word changed everyone's perception of this whole thing.
Yep.
They made you believe that being taken was a good thing. They made you believe that being taken somehow equated to being beamed up in the sky.
Right.
This has nothing to do with that at all. You were taken, that means you were killed. So now we're going to go into the Apocrypha, which is books that are part of the Old Testament that were removed by the Christian church between the 17th and the 18th century. They removed these books because with these books in there, it expounds on a lot of the doctrines, and they go contrary to what people teach in Christianity today. It expounds on the left behind and what it means to be taken. It expounds on that. It shows you where Christ is quoting from. This book is part of the Bible. The King James Version 1611 is part of the original Bible that the Christian church thought that it was meat to take out, because you cannot push a left behind doctrine and a rapture doctrine with these books in there. So they decided to remove them. 2nd Esdras chapter 13 verse 15. Show me now yet the interpretation of this dream. Esdras is having a dream, a prophetic dream. Prior in the chapter, he's seeing the coming of Christ. He's seeing the return of Christ. So now he wants to know, what is the interpretation and the meaning of this dream? This is referring to Christ's coming. For as I conceive in mine understanding, woe unto them that shall be left in those days. So he says, the way I understand it, the way I can conceive in my understanding, he says, woe unto them that are left in those days. The word woe means destruction. He said it's gonna be some destruction to those that are left in those days. And much more woe unto them that are not left behind. But it's much more destruction to those that were taken, those that were killed, those that were not left. He says it's a much more destruction, because the people that are left behind, it's still going to be some troubles. It's going to be troubles and it's going to be tribulation. But it's much more woe and destruction for those that did not make it, those that got caught up in the judgment of God. You have a bigger penalty to pay if you got taken. For they that were not left were in heaviness. Because after the 1,000-year reign of Christ, these people have to get resurrected again, and you have to be judged by the Most High himself. You have to stand and meet the Most High himself. The ones who are left behind and make it through the tribulation, they get to reign with Christ 1,000 years. And the second death, or the lake of fire, they don't have to, they're not in jeopardy of getting that lake of fire. But the ones who were taken, you are in jeopardy of getting the lake of fire, because you have to do the final judgment. You have to go through that. It tells you about that in the book of Revelations 20, that the dead and everyone else that was left has to be risen. Some gonna be to everlasting life, and some to everlasting damnation. Now you're in jeopardy of that. So you don't want to be the one that's taken. Now understand the things that are laid up in the...
He's out of sight, out of mind.
I see. So I take it you're not married?
No.
That's too bad.
No. Yeah, I prefer it that way. I don't need a man telling me what to do.
What about the baby?
I got it under control.
But it's gonna burn.
What'd you just say?
I said your fucking baby's gonna burn.
Go to hell, Aiden.
Yeah.
Jesus freak.
What happened?
All those little babies are gonna burn.
Oh.
Therefore are they come into great perils and many necessities, like as these dreams declare. The word pearl means imminent danger, because it is going to be danger. Whether for the ones that are left behind, it is going to be danger. It's going to be a survival zone. Yet it is easier for him that is in danger to come into these things than to pass away as a cloud out of the world, and not to see these things that happen in the last days. Esdras is saying you're not getting lifted up in no cloud. You're not getting taken away in no cloud. He says you are going to see the things that happen in the last days. There's no way out of it. Whether you left behind or taken, you are going to see the destruction that happens. There's no way out of it. You're not getting beamed up into no cloud. You're not going to escape it. You are going to see it. And he answered unto me and said, the interpretation of the vision shall I show thee, and I will open unto thee the things that thou hast required. Whereas thou hast spoken of them that are left behind, this is the interpretation. He that shall endure the peril in that time hath kept himself. This is the same exact thing when Christ says in Matthew 24, he that shall endure into the end. He that makes it into the end, that's the one that's going to be saved. But this is the person who has been keeping the commandments. He has kept himself from the wickedness of the world. This is the one who's left behind, who has made it through the tribulation. He's made it. He wasn't involved in the wickedness. He wasn't taken by the flood. They that be fallen into danger are such as have works and faith towards the Almighty. You need works and faith, meaning you must be keeping the commandments and you have to have faith at the same time. They go one in the same. They're hand in hand. If you have works, meaning you are keeping the commandments and you were living your life accordingly to what God says, that shows that you have faith. Keeping the commandments shows that you believe that there's a greater reward at the end, and that you believe if you keep these commandments that you will be saved from the wrath of the Most High. That faith and works go hand in hand. It tells you about that in the book of James. You can't have one without the other. Know this therefore, that they which be left behind are more blessed than they that be dead. I need to read this again. Know this therefore, that they which be left behind are more blessed than they that be dead. It says that they that are left behind, and contrary to what the Christian church teaches, are more blessed than they that be dead, showing you that the ones that were taken got killed. The Most High God killed you.
And you, Gabriel. You were always so eager to please him.
Unlike you, the rebellious son. The rebellious son. The rebellious son.